ChrisBeatCancer is a popular YouTube channel and website run by Chris Wark. Chris gives advice on how to cure cancer naturally and interviews cancer survivors who he claims also healed their cancers naturally. Chris has over 90,000 subscribers and counting. It seems likely to me that many of these people are suffering from cancer. In this video I will show that Chris's own claims regarding how he beat cancer naturally are dubious. I will also show that the stories of the people he interviews are often misleading and that Chris manipulates the content of his website and channel to hide the deaths of the people he interviews. Let's start with Chris's own story. In 2003, Chris was diagnosed with stage 3 colon cancer. 2 weeks after his diagnosis, he had surgery to remove a golf ball-sized tumour. Chris was told that he should take 9 months of chemotherapy. In this case, the purpose of the surgery was to cure Chris's disease by removing the cancerous cells from his body. Chemotherapy is recommended to kill any cancer cells that surgery might have missed. By refusing chemotherapy, Chris gambled with his life and increased the chances that his cancer might return. However, with a successful surgery, there's every reason to believe that Chris could survive without drugs, and surgeons have been able to cure cancer by removing tumours long before the invention of chemotherapy. The practice of combining surgery with chemotherapy just gives a better prognosis, and this is explained in detail in an article I'll link below. After Chris had his tumour removed, he decided to go down the alternative treatment route of juicing and supplements. Chris now believes that it was the juicing that cured his cancer rather than the surgery. He now says that with his new knowledge he wouldn't have had the surgery and encourages others to refuse the treatment that saved his life.
Knowing what I know now, would I have had surgery again? Probably not.
Chris now spends his time interviewing other so-called natural survivors and selling consultations and courses. So let's have a look at some of these other stories that he uses to promote his business. Kelly Idem says that he beat his cancer naturally by eating chili peppers and garlic. The first problem with this story is that Kelly Idem was never diagnosed with cancer. Kelly says that his first symptoms were lesions all over his body. He then claims to have taken a pregnancy test which turned out positive. Whilst it is true that testicular cancer can sometimes cause a man to give a positive pregnancy test, the symptoms that Kelly describes don't really match up with testicular cancer, and my suspicion is further aroused because Kelly cured his supposed cancer just a year after having written a book on how to cure cancer naturally. In his interview with Chris Wark, Kelly frequently plugs his own book. If I had to guess, I would say that his cancer was just a marketing ploy. Here's a clip from Kelly's own YouTube channel.
Like I said, I'm the author of the book, The Doctor Who Cures Cancer, and I also cured my own stage 4 cancer 11 years ago after I wrote the book. Of course, I'd like you to order my book, but today I want you to have my free recipe.
Perhaps he's just a man who can't read a pregnancy test. Either way, I think most people would accept it is disingenuous to credulously present the story of Kelly Idem, who diagnosed, treated and cured a cancer without ever having consulted a doctor. Candice-Marie Fox made the headlines for curing her cancer with pineapples. However, like Chris, Candice also opted to have her cancer surgically removed and was treated with radiation. Many people are suspicious of Candice, particularly after wellness blogger Belle Gibson was exposed for lying about her cancer. Candice has never responded to requests to release her medical records to prove that she is telling the truth. Carla Camarillo was interviewed by Chris in 2016. She was diagnosed with breast cancer in 2015. Ultimately, she chose not to have surgery or take conventional medicine. Carla also set up her own website, cancerwarriorclub.com. At some point in 2016, she started taking diagnostic scans from Mary Blakely. I am working on a separate video for Mary Blakely, but for the purpose of this story, you should know that Mary is a fraud. Mary declared that Carla was cancer-free. This was obviously great news for Carla, and she made a promotional video for Mary's clinic and received compensation from any referrals that she made. Unfortunately, Carla's cancer continued to grow, and in 2017 she finally accepted surgery because she had a tumour so large her family thought it would break through her skin. Carla passed away in 2017. Both Chris and Mary used Carla to promote their business and make money. You might expect that Chris would post a video or release a comment mourning the death of his friend.
My friend Carla Camarillo, who has an amazing healing story that she's going to share with you.
Chris tried to erase any trace of his interaction with Carla. He deleted the video with Carla from his YouTube channel. You can still find the video on Carla's channel. When I asked him about Carla's death, he also deleted the testimonial from his site. You can still access the archived version of this post on the Wayback Machine. Chris uses people like Carla to promote his channel, and then when they die he erases their stories because they threaten his business. I don't have time to talk about all of the cases that Chris presents. However, a lot of these so-called natural survivors have often had surgery, taken chemo, or been treated with radiation. Many of them are also suffering with slow-growing cancers or were never diagnosed with cancer in the first place. The entire premise of Chris's channel is based on flawed logic. By definition, he can only interview survivors because dead people don't give interviews. Without knowing how many people are dying by taking these alternative treatments, Chris can't make any comparison to patients who take conventional treatment. A study published recently shows that cancer patients who take these alternative medicines are likely to live shorter lives, probably because they miss appointments for chemo or surgery. Every minute that a cancer patient spends watching Chris's channel, their tumour might be growing. Every hour wasted on his channel drumming up false hope is a gift to the disease. Chris beat colon cancer with conventional medicine, and has used his new lease of life to cut short the lives of others in the pursuit of money. As I said, I have more videos like this one coming up, so subscribe if you are interested to see them. If you enjoyed the video, please thumb it up to make it more visible to other people. If you are a true believer in ChrisBeatCancer, please leave a nasty comment below. I'll personally respond to all of them.